Welcome to Storytelling DIY to get inspired and learn easy techniques to tell stories. Let me jump right in with my first drawing story. Once there was a man who went for a walk. And he didn't pay attention where he was going, so he fell into a hole. And he got 2 bumps on his head. He climbed out of the hole and continued his walk, still not paying attention, so he fell into yet another hole and got 2 more bumps on his head. And look, he turned into a teddy bear. As the story is told, the picture is drawn. Telling the story and drawing go hand in hand. It's also a great tool to get the attention of a group, whether you start a workshop or a lesson at school. Now, this kind of storytelling has been around and known and practiced in many cultures. For example, in Australia by the Aborigines. Their stories were told by drawing stories in the sand, either with hands or with a stick. And the Eskimos in Alaska told stories by drawing them in the snow. One of the first toys given to children in the past was a beautifully carved bone knife that was not sharp. This was called story knifing. Let me tell you another story. Once there was a prince who lived in a castle with 3 towers. This is the castle. It was always very busy in the castle, and one day the prince decided to go for a walk. He walked around the side of the castle and along the straight path that ran alongside it. After a while, he came to a lake, and in the lake there was an island. Because the island wasn't far, the prince swam to it and spent the whole day on this beautiful place, playing, enjoying himself, and having a good time with no one ordering him about. Suddenly he noticed it was getting dark, so he was walking back to the castle, but because it was so dark, he didn't realize he was walking slightly above the path, and he didn't see the stone right at the edge of it. He bumped across it, and he bumped across another one right after it. Then he continued his walk, and before long, he stumbled across an even bigger stone. By the time the prince arrived at the castle doors, he noticed that he couldn't get in because he had lost his keys stumbling across the stones. Can anybody help him find the key? You can tell the story every time in your own words, or you can use the same wording every time, for example, to support language learning. Now, I have got one more story for you, and listen to it now. One day it rained, and it rained, and it rained. It rained so much that puddles formed. Here's one, and 2 more puddles formed here and here. And here grew a puddle, and here. The rain continued very heavily, so the puddles overflowed and made one big puddle. But all through the night the rain continued non-stop. And the next morning all the puddles flowed into one giant puddle. "Whee!" said the pig. "I love puddles." Righto, now you've got 3 stories to tell whoever you like to tell them to. Drawing stories. Have a go, try it out yourself next time you're on the beach or in the snow. Grab a twig and make a story. Just make sure that story and drawing develop at the same time. Enjoy!